I just finished watching the Mexico-Portugal game, and I have to say I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed in the way we played. I'm very disappointed in the result itself wasn't great because honestly, much like the U.S. Mexico game, I felt it wasn't like the performance on the field did not reflect the result. Like in the U.S. Mexico game, and I haven't touched on this at all, but the U.S. defended very well, and I think the U.S. played a very great game. And to take nothing away from the U.S., I think the U.S. did exactly what they needed to do in Mexico City and completely negated Mexico's attack. Hernandez was nowhere to be seen. Lozano was nowhere to be seen. Despite all the domination and possession and way more chances Mexico had, one shot on target, just not good enough. Not good enough. But I do want to say I think it was because of the U.S. defense. They shut down the Mexico attack. They defended with 11 players and completely shut down the Mexico attack. And I don't think it was quite the same here. What happened here, I think, differently is I think Mexico just kept passing side to side and backwards. I don't understand what they were doing. Mexico had way more possession than Portugal in this game. Way more possession. I mean, we dominated pretty much every aspect of the game. We were passing circles around Portugal. They had very few chances, and the chances they got were off counterattacks. Both goals came off chances like that. I mean, just the first goal. And first of all, let me just say, Carlos Salcedo, not good enough. We have no one to play right back because our best center defensive pairing is Diego Reyes and Moreno. And Diego Reyes can play on the right, but if you put him on the right, then who do you play alongside Hector Moreno? And that's the problem. Like, we have no right back. We just don't. We don't have someone good enough to play right back. And so Salcedo is the guy, and he's just not good enough. And he cheated. He tried to catch Ronaldo. I guess he thought he could catch him. I don't know what he was thinking, but he tried to cheat a little bit, cheat forward instead of respecting the speed. What he should have done is just let Ronaldo catch the ball and then defend him, let the defense get back. Instead, he tried to cut off the pass, cheat a little bit, cut off the pass, and he got caught. And it was entirely his fault. But back to the original point. We were passing circles around them. We had way more possession, but it was just like backwards and sideways. Very few kicks into the box. I don't understand how hard it is. You put the ball in the box and it's dangerous. How many times did we see that? Mexico just kept passing it sideways and backwards. Great possession, and Mexico completely, anytime Portugal got the ball, immediate pressure. And we were really good at passing our way out of danger. But once we reached like their half of their half, like the attacking fourth, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. The attacking fourth, that was the end. That was the end of the danger, and then immediately stop the forward motion, stop the forward progress, and play it sideways and backwards. It's just incredibly frustrating. How many chances could we have created if we just played more positive instead of, great possession is great, and like the first 20 minutes of the game, we were vastly superior to them. But who cares? Who cares? Possession is great. I mean, if you have the ball, the other team can't score, blah, blah, blah. But you have to make something out of it, because the more the game went on without Mexico actually doing anything dangerous, the more Portugal got into the game. And, I mean, you saw it. And to say that, Mexico was lucky to come back to earn a draw, that's not the way this should have gone. Because we were the better team. We played a better game than they did. and then but we still had to come back from a deficit twice just to earn a draw, which was ridiculous. I think there should have been a lot more forward progress, and I don't really blame the coach. I think the players just, I think by the time we reached like the 70th minute, 75th minute, we were going for the draw. Like, we're happy with the draw, we're content tying this game instead of going for the win. And as soon as it started happening, I was like, this is going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. Ridiculous. I think for the most part, we played a perfect game minus the lack of intent. I don't understand why Mexico didn't go forward more. I don't understand with the attacking talent we had and how badly they were defending. I mean, I don't say badly, but you could tell like Fonte and Pepe weren't. They were beatable, is what I'm trying to say. If we had just attacked them a little bit more, played some through balls, how about some just a cross into the box, just for goodness sake. Give Hernandez a chance. Give Jimenez a chance to just go in there. And the few times we did that, we created some danger, but it wasn't enough. It just simply wasn't. There needs to be more of that. I think this easily could have been our game. Easily. But we didn't do it, and it could have easily been Portugal's. That's why I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because we should have won, because we were the better team. We were better than them, and we ended up having to come back from behind twice. And that's just disappointing. It's disappointing. I think against New Zealand, we need to put them to the sword. There needs to be absolutely no question as to who is the superior team here. Because you have to think that Portugal is going to beat Russia. You have to think that. So I think Portugal beats Russia. I think we beat New Zealand, but by how many goals? That's going to be the question. We have to beat them by more than 2. Like Russia only beat them 2-0. We need to do them by more. And then when Portugal beats New Zealand, hopefully New Zealand can hold them, and then that's going to end up being us against Russia in the end, and that's going to be the key game. I think Portugal have an easier route because once they beat Russia, I think they're going to beat Russia. There's not that much pressure, and then they have an easy game against New Zealand, and then us on the other hand, we have an easy game first, and then if everything goes according to plan, if everything goes according to reality, like how it should go, then we're going to have to play Russia, who's going to be desperate to win that last game and get some points. So I think that's how it's going to go. I just wanted to put my thoughts out in terms of this Portugal game. Ronaldo didn't really do much. I mean, he had that good assist. I think we respected him too much. I think in their first goal, we ended up having like 3 or 4 defenders on him. We left Quaresma all by himself. Where, instead we should have put 1, maybe 2 defenders on him, and then, watch the runner. I think we gave him too much respect. He really didn't do much. He didn't get any good service from his teammates, and he didn't really pass the ball very well. He, I think, had 1 shot that went off the crossbar. That was it. That was his entire contribution, and I think that's the problem. I think with Portugal, like as soon as Portugal got the ball, they tried to pass it to him immediately, and they ended up rushing it and never really giving him any good balls. I never really felt scared. There were a couple of times where I thought he might do something, but he really didn't. He really didn't threaten. Hernandez had better chances. The one that he skied, bad technique, man. For a guy like Chicharito Hernandez I know the ball bounced. You can see it on the replay. It bounced right before he kicked it, but still, you put your knee over the ball, you put your head over the ball, you keep it low. There's no way that ball should have gone that high. There's no way that ball should have gone that high. I'm pretty sure it still hasn't come back down. But just again, we had the chances, especially. Anyway, it's just frustrating. Because everyone was like, "Oh, Portugal, European champions, well, definitely the favorites." I thought we displayed better football than them, um, and still ended up only having to come back. Anyway, that's why it's frustrating, because the performances don't match the results, and that is something that needs to, I guess, change. Anyway, Confederations Cup, fun times. It's going to be interesting. I'm interested in the other group. I'm very interested in the other group. I know everyone fancies Chile. I think they're overrated. Chile is definitely overrated. Colombia is definitely overrated. I don't know how they're like 3 and 4 in the world. Aren't they 3 and 4, or 4 and 5, or 3 and 5, or something like that? I think Brazil, they're number 1. Well, you know what? I don't even want to talk about FIFA rankings because they're stupid and irrelevant. They don't mean anything. They're flawed. So, and for anyone who disagrees that they're flawed, they are flawed. At one point, Mexico was number 5. Mexico was ranked number 5. At no point has Mexico ever been the number 5 best team in the world. Never. There's no way we were number 5 in the world. And so you can't respect the FIFA rankings when something stupid like that gets put up and it's official. Goodness. But anyway, there's I don't know. They I think the South American teams are a little bit overrated. I think Chile's overrated. I think they should beat Cameroon, but we'll see. Okay, African teams do end up doing well in these kinds of tournaments. They're definitely dangerous. So I'm very interested to see how they do against the so-called big boys. But anyway, I'll probably be back to discuss Mexico, New Zealand later on. But so far, I think this is the result I think this is probably the most predictable result. Russia beats New Zealand because New Zealand's the worst team. The two top teams go head-to-head, and they end up canceling each other out. And then we'll see what happens later. I think both Portugal and Mexico beat both Russia and New Zealand, and I think it's going to come down to the goal differential. I think that's going to be the difference. So anyway, enjoy the Confederations Cup. It's very good. It's been a lot of fun.